My husband slapped me in front of his mother. I thought she'd defend him, but she called the cops and brought his reign of abuse crashing down. The slap came out of nowhere. One second I was telling Garrett that his steak was still cooking, and the next second his open palm cracked across my face so hard my earring flew off and hit the kitchen tile. His mother, Dolores, was standing 3 feet away holding a glass of sweet tea. Garrett had been hitting me for 2 years, but never in front of anyone. He was careful about that, always behind closed doors. He'd grab my wrists until they bruised, then buy me bracelets to cover the marks. He'd shove me into walls, then tell friends I was clumsy. Once he choked me until I saw spots, then drove me to dinner 20 minutes later like nothing happened. I became an expert at hiding it. Long sleeves in summer, concealer on bruises, laughing at parties while my ribs ached. I told myself every marriage had rough patches, that he only did it when stressed. The lies you tell yourself to survive are the most dangerous ones. But tonight he slipped. The stress of his mother visiting combined with a bad day and 3 beers made him forget his own rules. He hit me right there under the kitchen lights with Dolores watching. She burned my steak, he said, like that explained everything. I held my face waiting for Dolores to take his side. Every time I'd hinted at problems, she'd say, marriage takes patience, and Garrett works so hard. She worshipped her son. He could do no wrong. So I braced for the excuses. Instead, Dolores set her sweet tea on the counter very slowly and deliberately. Her hands were steady, but her voice was shaking when she finally spoke. How long? She wasn't looking at Garrett, she was looking at me. How long has my son been putting his hands on you? Garrett stepped forward. Mom, it's not what it looks like. She provoked me. It won't happen again. Sit down, Dolores said in a voice I'd never heard before, cold and absolute. This is between me and my wife. I said sit down. Garrett sat. Dolores pulled out her phone and dialed 911. Garrett jumped up. You're calling the cops on your own son? I'm calling the cops on a man who hits women, she said. The fact that he's my son makes it worse, not better. Garrett tried to grab her phone, but she stepped back. Touch me, and I'll make sure they add another charge. She gave the dispatcher our address. Garrett was pacing now, pulling at his hair. This is insane. You're going to ruin my life over one slap? Dolores turned to me. Is this the first time? I shook my head. How long? 2 years, I whispered. Garrett slammed his fist on the counter. She's lying. She's been trying to turn you against me. Dolores ignored him. Where are the bruises right now? I rolled up my sleeves. Purple and yellow marks wrapped around both wrists from last week. Dolores took photos with her phone. Her hands trembled, but she kept clicking. Garrett's voice dropped low. Mom, if you do this, I will never speak to you again. You will lose your son. Dolores looked at him with tears streaming. I already lost my son. The boy I raised would never do this. The cops arrived 7 minutes later. Garrett immediately switched to his charming voice. Officers, there's been a misunderstanding. She didn't call us, the officer said. Your mother did, and she's showing us photos of bruises on your wife's arms. They arrested him in his own kitchen, handcuffed him next to the stove where his burned steak was still smoking. He kept saying, this is ridiculous, over and over like a broken record. Dolores watched them put her only son in the back of a squad car and didn't look away once. After they left, she sat at the kitchen table and sobbed for 40 minutes straight. I sat across from her not knowing what to say. I should have seen it sooner, she finally said. All those times you wore long sleeves to Sunday dinner. All those times you flinched when he raised his voice. I told myself I was imagining things because the truth meant admitting I raised a monster. You didn't raise a monster, I said. You raised a man who made monstrous choices, and tonight you stopped him. She held my hand across the table. You're leaving him. It wasn't a question. Yes, good. I'm helping you do it. Dolores paid for my divorce lawyer. She testified against her own son in court. She helped me move into a new apartment and showed up every Saturday with groceries until I got back on my feet. Garrett got 18 months. He wrote her letters from jail begging forgiveness. She read everyone, then threw them away. I love my son, she told me once, but I love the truth more.